Peter drove up to the supermarket, his gaze falling on a thin old man sitting on a crate at the store's entrance. The man occasionally reached out to passing customers, pocketing the change he received. Strange, he looks like Mr. Maguire. But Mr. Maguire was a sturdy, healthy man, and this one is quite old and thin, Peter thought as he entered the store. He walked down the aisle, habitually filling his cart with groceries as he used to when Lisa and the children lived with him. He even added a couple of marshmallow packs for Kate and Tom, just in case. Peter himself disliked marshmallows, but as his hand reached for the shelf, his heart ached painfully. A few years ago, Lisa had taken away the children to Spain. He had signed a permission slip, agreeing, despite everything inside him screaming in objection. Turning to the meat shelves, Peter selected a few steaks and a decent piece of sirloin for chops. As he left the store with his packages, he noticed a red-faced man angrily pushing the old beggar. "Stop sitting here, you beggar, making it hard for decent people to get through." "Can't you be polite?" Peter protested. "What? Are you talking to me? I won't be told what to do by a wretch like you." Peter couldn't contain himself. He shifted the bags to one hand and grabbed the fat man's jacket with the other. "I see who the real wretch is. Let me explain it better. Apologize to the elderly man now. I can be more persuasive." Frightened, the fat man mumbled about his hard day, apologized, and scurried into the store. The elderly man turned pale. "Why did you do that? You can get into trouble because of me." Peter waved him off. "What trouble? I just put a jerk in his place. Now he won't bother you again. Here, take this." He took out all the cash from his pocket and pressed them into the old man's hand. The man became agitated, his hand trembling. "What are you doing? It's too much." "It's nothing. It'll last you longer," Peter insisted, then headed to his car. He shoved the heavy bags into the trunk, sat behind the wheel and turned on the windshield wipers. It was drizzling, the damp, overcast weather doing nothing for his mood. And then there were such upstarts who thought they were elite. Damn them! Peter had encountered many, and they always threw him unbalanced for a while. He was about to leave the parking lot when he spotted the old beggar in his rearview mirror, walking with difficulty. Peter pulled up beside him and opened the passenger door. "Get in, Grandpa. How far do you need to go? I'll give you a ride. It's raining. You'll be soaked before you get there." "Oh, thanks, but I'll manage. I might spoil your seat with my wet jacket, son." "Get in. I have removable covers. It's no problem." The old man sat down shivering. He gave directions. It wasn't far. On the spot, Peter helped him out of the car, offering his hand. The old man seemed overexcited, clutching his chest with a bony hand. "I'll walk you to the door. Lean on me." "Thank you. God sent you to me, and the angels of heaven." The old man wept. Older people often become tearful, especially those who have had a hard life. At his door, the man silently handed Peter the keys with a trembling hand. Peter unlocked the door, helped him remove his shoes and jacket, and guided him to the sofa. He carefully laid the old man down, adjusting a cushion for comfort. A black dog watched attentively from the kitchen, wagging its tail discreetly. It didn't bark, seeming to understand that this stranger had come to help its master. As the old man settled on the couch, the dog rested its face on his hands, tail wagging again. Peter's eyes welled up. "Shall I call an ambulance to take you to the hospital?" "No, don't. It'll pass. I just need to take a pill. I'm cold and overexcited. It sometimes happens." "Where are the pills? In the kitchen?" Peter found the first aid kit and brought a glass of water. The old man chose the right packet, took a pill, and drank water. He closed his eyes, tired but relieved. "There we go. It'll feel better now." Peter sat nearby, unsure what to do. He couldn't leave now. What if the stranger's condition worsened? And where was he rushing to? Who was waiting for him at home? The black dog approached Peter, looked into his eyes, then licked his hand, as if thanking him for helping its master. "You must be hungry, my friend. Hold on, I'll be right back." He patted the dog lightly and went to the kitchen, searching the cabinets for dog food. Finding none, he opened the refrigerator and was stunned. It was nearly empty. 1 egg, 2 potatoes, and an onion in the vegetable drawer, half a loaf of bread in a bag on the shelf, and the remains of porridge in a pot. How does this poor, lonely old man survive? Peter wondered. Peter went down to the car and took the bags from the trunk. An hour later, the old man came into the kitchen. His face was no longer a pale green colour. He had come to his senses, taken a nap, and it had given him strength. On the floor lay his content dog. He had eaten a piece of veal tenderloin in a couple of bites, and his master was there. What else did the dog need to be happy? There were plates on the table waiting to be filled. The cups were already steaming with fragrant tea. In a vase lay a neatly sliced baguette. In another, a handful of white and pink marshmallows. On the face of the owner of this poor kitchen was a look of amazement. How long had it been since he had smelled such aromas? How long since he had seen dishes on his table? Peter took the lid off the pan and placed the smoking steaks on plates. "Sit down, grandfather," smiled Peter. "It's been a long time since you've had a feast like this." The old man fussed. "Oh, I'll wash my hands. I didn't wash them when I came." Then he turned around, not having taken a couple of steps, and whispered to Peter, "Thank you, kind soul. God give you good health." "Woof!" joined the dog. He understood everything people said verbatim. Then they realized they hadn't properly met. Over an unexpectedly hearty dinner in this poor house, the conversation flowed leisurely. "I'm Mr. Maguire, and what should I call you, my saviour?" Peter smiled broadly. It wasn't for nothing that the old man had seemed familiar to him at the store. "You won't recognise me, of course. I'm Peter Surratt, from the village. You used to live there." Mr. Maguire took a closer look. "Peter, you little brat! You and Bill used to steal cherries from my garden." "Of course I wouldn't have recognised you, but I remember. I remember everything very well." Peter smiled. He felt so warm, as if he had met a dear old friend. "How long ago did you move from the village to the city?" he asked. "A long time ago, Peter, when my daughter got married. She persuaded me to sell the house there so that she and her husband could buy a bigger apartment in the city. They sold the house, took the money, and bought a new apartment in a good neighbourhood. And this tiny apartment belonged to my son-in-law, so they re-registered it to my name. But now he often comes here and asks me to sell it too." "What do you mean?" Peter didn't understand. "And where are you going?" "Where to? To a nursing home," smiled the old man sadly. "Yes, I would agree. What have I left here? But where to put my dog? They won't let me keep a dog there. They'll make me put him to sleep, and that's impossible. Charlie is smart like a human being, but he doesn't speak. How can I let them kill my best friend? It's despicable." The dog growled softly, shifting his gaze from one man to another, realizing again what they were talking about. Mr. Maguire reached out his hand and soothingly rubbed him on the back of his neck, stroked his head affectionately. "No one will hurt you, Charlie. Don't be afraid, as long as I'm alive. By the way, Peter, don't you recognise him? It's the puppy you once dropped under my door on the porch, thinking he was dead. But I took care of him, and he's been with me ever since. Isn't that right, Charlie?" The dog, smiling, readily thumped his tail on the floor, confirming, "Yes, it's true, master. I named him Charlie. In his puppyhood he was so round. It's now he's skinny, and I'm a couple of sizes smaller too. We've had a hard time lately. I bought medicine, paid the utility bill, but we had little left for food. We had to go to the store with outstretched hands. There was no other way out." Mr. Maguire became sad, and then he cheered up and exclaimed, "But you see, there's good in everything. I met a fellow villager, and you helped us out so much. I'd say that I'd slowly collect money and someday pay you back, but you won't take it. Thank you, Peter." Peter was on his way home from the unexpected guests, and from time to time he wiped his eyes. Memories came flooding back, as if he had plunged back into his mischievous childhood. "Peter, you rascal! Where the hell are you? I sent you for Dill. And where did you disappear to?" shouted Grandma from the porch. "I'll give you a beating. I'll tell your mother and father everything." But Peter, without paying any attention to his granny's quarrelling, was whispering with Bill by the fence in the garden, hastily negotiating another plan for a raid on Mr. Maguire's tempting orchard. The cherry trees there were bending under the weight of ripe berries, and the man didn't pick them anyway, so he doesn't need them. "Okay, let's go as soon as it gets dark, but now I'm running. Your grandmother is already cursing, and my mum has been running with a stick for a long time, looking for me," said Bill, Peter's best friend. As darkness fell, Peter stretched himself blissfully in bed and realized that he didn't want to go anywhere. He wished Bill hadn't come. There were mosquitoes and stinging nettles, and here it was so soft and cosy, and he wanted to sleep. But a small pebble hit the glass. Peter sighed and put on his shorts. He had hidden his sandals under the bed to climb out the window at night. In Mr. Maguire's garden, of course, the dream was completely wiped out. Not only because of mosquitoes and nettles. The cherries were large, sweet as honey. The boys climbed up the overloaded branch together and ate the berries. Suddenly, it broke off. Angry Mr. Maguire jumped out onto the porch, shouting and swearing. Even in the faint light of the lamp, one could hear how red he was with anger. "Oh, you naughty boys, you've ruined such a branch!" Running away to a safe distance, Bill, scratching himself, muttered, "Nasty old man, mean and greedy. I'll take revenge on him." The next day they saw a dead black puppy lying in the grass by the brook. Bill took the puppy by the hind leg and carried it away. "Where are you taking him?" inquired Peter. "It'll be like a pirate's black mark. I'll throw it under his door, that evil old man. Let him know that he deserves revenge." Peter followed his friend and tried to persuade Bill not to do anything stupid. "Well, it's our own fault. We went into his garden without asking. We broke such a big branch. We most likely ruined the tree. Why should we take revenge on him?" "Are you my friend or not?" Bill squinted. "Yours, of course," Peter hurriedly replied. "What's the matter with you?" "Well, if you're my friend, then support me in everything as friends should. Sit in the bushes by the gate, on the lookout. Whistle to me if anything happens, and I'm off to do my job." Bill crept through the gap and slipped onto the porch, leaving his black mark there. Peter felt very uncomfortable about the old man afterward. He even wanted to sneak into the yard, remove the puppy's corpse, and throw it away before Mr. Maguire found it. But it didn't work out. His grandmother took Peter to help carry sugar from the store for jam. Then his parents came and took Peter to town. The school year started. Later, Grandma died. His parents sold the house, and Peter never returned to the village. Over the years, he almost forgot about the village. His childhood memories melted away like a vague dream. And now the past found him. Now Peter realized that Mr. Maguire wasn't an old man back then. He just had a grizzled beard and he was grey-haired, early greying, so he had seemed old to the boys. Peter visited Mr. Maguire frequently. The old man could no longer cope with household difficulties, was often sick and had no one to help him. Peter repaired his warped balcony door, which had a strong draught. Then he replaced the faucet in the kitchen. One day he ran into Mr. Maguire's daughter Cassandra at the house, a heavy-set woman with watery eyes. She was hastily hiding money in her pocket when Peter entered. Peter remembered her vaguely from childhood. Back then she had been a slender, ruddy girl with braids, and now she had undergone such a metamorphosis over the years that she was unrecognizable. "Ah, I see you're not bored here, Daddy. You're making friends." She grinned grudgingly, and Charlie growled in response to her words. It was clear the dog didn't like the visitor. "And you, dirty, ugly dog, get the hell out of here! Yuck!" She stomped her foot. "You've got a menagerie and total unsanitary here." "Well, Charlie is neat and tidy." Mr. Maguire excused himself, rubbing his chest on the left side with a familiar gesture. His heart was seizing again. Visits from his daughter were not easy for him. "Cassandra, by the way, tell me, how did your father ask for money at the store? And how dare you take away his pension?" Peter stepped into the conversation. "What's it to you? Who are you? Stay out of our family!" shrieked the woman. I see there's no appealing to you. I'm someone who cares that an old man is starving because his own daughter is taking the bread out of his mouth. All right, Daddy, I'm going to go. I'll come back another time when your new friend won't be here." Peter hummed. The day he gets his pension money? Don't be deceived, I'll be there. I'll make sure you don't rip him off again, Cassandra. Stop robbing the old man of everything." "Jerk." She left the apartment and slammed the door loudly. "Why are you doing this, Peter? My daughter is my daughter, my own blood, the only one in the world. How can I not help her?" Mr. Maguire rummaged through the medicine cabinet, taking out the necessary pills and drinking water. "Mr. Maguire, I can see that it is you who need help. You don't even have enough for food, and she, judging by her well-fed appearance and fur coat, is not so much in need of help." The old man frowned. Charlie, seeing the look on his face, gave a muffled grunt. He had grown to love this delicious-smelling stranger, who had begun to visit their house, but he wasn't allowed to upset his master. On the day when Mr. Maguire got his next pension allowance, Peter kept his word and arrived at the man's house a little earlier to get ahead of Cassandra. She came in without even ringing the doorbell and opened the door with her own key. Finding her father and the recent guest sitting in the kitchen, Cassandra frowned unhappily. "Is that one here again?" "Hello to you too," said Peter cheerfully. "Dad, let's go to the living room. I need to talk to you privately," Cassandra hissed through her teeth. "Sit down, my daughter. Have tea with us. Peter brought such delicious cakes. Try some." "I don't have time to drink tea here." The old man obediently went after Cassandra into the living room, whispering, "I'm sorry, daughter. I have nothing to give you. My shoes have completely fallen apart. I bought new ones, and paid the utility bill. If I give you the money, I won't have enough left for food, so I'll have to go to the store again, but I don't feel comfortable begging." "How come there's nothing to give? I could have picked out your shoes in a second-hand shop, and you should treat fewer guests so that you have enough. I need to repay the loan, I told you, and you said you'd think about selling the apartment. The notary is waiting for us, and there's already a buyer." "Where am I going? To the train station? To the bums?" "I already told you where, to the sanatorium for old people." "Sanatorium? A nursing home where they don't allow dogs?" Mr. Maguire continued to justify himself. It's about time you put that scrawny mutt of yours to sleep. Here's the deal. Tomorrow we'll bring the notary right here. This is where you'll sign the documents." Peter couldn't stand it and interfered into the conversation. "Why don't you put your father to sleep too, so he won't get in the way? Or maybe you won't interfere. No one asks about your opinion. This is my family business, and anyway, you have already got your eye on my father's apartment. Probably that's why you spend so much time near my father, trying to put his watchfulness to sleep and pretending to be someone who cares about him. I've got my own apartment, and I have a conscience, unlike you. Okay, I'm sick of this, Dad. I want him out of here, right now, right away." Mr. Maguire stood confusedly silent, looking at his daughter, and then asked, "When did you become like this, daughter? How come I didn't see it before?" "What? What do you mean, like this? If he doesn't leave, then I will. Choose, Daddy. It's either him or me." "He won't go. He's staying, and I'm not putting the dog down, not ever," said Mr. Maguire quietly but firmly. "Ah, so. Well, have a happy stay. You'll be sorry." Cassandra slammed the door again, as last time. "Why don't our nearest and dearest understand us? Why are strangers sometimes dearer to us than our own?" muttered Mr. Maguire bitterly, addressing no one in particular. "Woof!" cautiously echoed Charlie, as if supporting his master. "Pills?" asked Peter, fearing that the old man would have another attack. "No, Peter, no need for pills. Let's go and finish our tea. It's probably getting cold by now." Soon after, Peter had an unexpected but joyful event. Lisa arrived and brought Tom and Kate. "May I?" she asked from the threshold. "Of course. It's your house too." With a broad gesture, Peter invited them in, and for a long time he hugged his children. "Well, you never know. Maybe you're already married here, and your new wife won't be happy about the kids." "Lisa, stop it. I won't have a new wife, as you say, who won't be happy about children." Tom and Kate sat hushed on the living room sofa. Peter wondered. "What's wrong, children? I don't recognize you." "Dad, and will you give up on us too?" asked Kate. "What do you mean?" Peter didn't understand, but Lisa called him into the kitchen. So he kissed Kate, ruffled Tom's head and said, "I'll be back soon, my dears. Don't be bored. Play." In the kitchen, Lisa shocked her ex-husband with news that clarified everything. Their unexpected arrival, and why the children were so confused and hushed. Lisa was pregnant with twins. Even though her new husband had a big house, her children were a nuisance to him. He was always annoyed that they were noisy and naughty. "You see, Jose likes quiet, and he wants only his kids to make noise in his house. Other people's children bother him." "And you? Are your children suddenly bothering you too? You've changed, Lisa." "Peter, don't twist things around. If you don't want them, I can send them to private boarding schools in London. That's what Jose suggested." "What are you talking about? What do you mean, don't want to take them?" Peter protested. "Are they puppies, or what?" In the end, Lisa left the children and flew to Madrid alone. Peter was delighted. He adored his children, and they certainly never bothered him, even when noisy and mischievous. The children befriended Mr. Maguire and, of course, Charlie. The old dog was happy. So much attention in his old age, and plenty of food and cuddles. Peter also went to the village and found out that Mr. Maguire's house had been empty for several years. The family that bought it as a summer house was disappointed. The once well-kept yard and garden had fallen into disrepair. They had to work, take care of it, cut the grass, trim the bushes, and they didn't want to do that. When the yard became overgrown with weeds, they stopped going there. "Anyway, I've decided to buy your former house, Mr. Maguire. I found the owners, talked to them, and they agreed to sell. But what, Peter? What's the problem? The man asked, worried. Well, I didn't save money on purpose. I thought I didn't need much on my own, especially since my children were gone. I have half the sum, but I'll have to collect the other half. It won't be quick. I'll need to get a part-time job because I have more expenses now. Now my kids are with me, and I've been thinking it would be great to bring them to you all summer for vacations. Okay, I see. I'm going to have to sell this apartment. It's time, said Mr. Maguire. I'll make this purchase for the two of us. You'll have your own house again, not a nursing home. The dog will be better off there too, and we'll come with the kids every weekend. Absolutely not. Mr. Maguire waved his hands. I know you, my dear, and I know how kind and generous your heart. You won't hurt me. He brushed away a tear that rolled out of his eye and sighed. But I'm not eternal, and when my daughter's inheritance is due, she'll take your half of this house out of your throat. So you should buy it under your name, Peter. I totally trust you. Peter finalized the deal quickly. Before moving Mr. Maguire's small belongings, he managed to hire a skilled team that cleaned up the house. They fixed the roof, plastered the walls, changed the windows, and restained the floors. When the whole family arrived with their things, they saw a black kitten in the yard, which was the first to be let into the house. It's going to be Charlie Jr., exclaimed little Tom. When we come with Kate in the summer for vacation, I'll teach him to walk on his hind legs. Mr. Maguire stroked the boy's wiggly head. You are my trainer, of course. You'll come. The cherries will be just in time. Charlie Senior wagged his tail affably, licked the old man's hand, and then licked the new, little, fluffy-smelling unfamiliar. That was good. Now they are home at last. The master is close by. And what more do you need to be happy?